Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to PB&J. I'm here with Brian, and we're going to talk about E3, which was last week. We're going to do something a little different, though. We're not going to recap the whole show. I'm sure you guys have either watched E3, watched all the conferences, or you've watched other channels recapping. We're not going to grade the presentations and say who won or lost. Again, you can go to other channels. You've probably seen 100 of them. But what we want to do is we want to talk about, we're going to be a little more positive, and we want to talk about what got us excited about E3 this year. Whether it was something new, something old, just something that got us going, that really got us excited and hyped up for, a new game or something. And so we wanted to talk about that a little bit. So Brian, what's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going?
So Brian was out of town actually when E3 was going on. So it took him a couple of days to catch up when he got back, but he caught up on it. And
yeah, I watched like 5 or 6 of the panels, and then like the YouTube channels that I follow, and I watched like their thoughts on that too. So I was watching a lot of stuff when I got back. So I was pretty busy streaming stuff.
And did you watch all the conferences, or you skipped some?
I did. I watched all of them.
Oh wow! I didn't get a chance to see the Bethesda and Ubisoft. I didn't see those two. I missed those two, but I followed up on it just to see what was going on. And so, what'd you think? What'd you think about E3, and what'd you get all excited about?
So I'll start with Microsoft. I was actually really impressed with what they showed, because they had to. I mean, everyone was saying that they have to come out like guns blazing. So, one of the big announcements they made was that they purchased 5 studios, and one of them was Ninja Theory, which is a pretty big move because they made a few games like, I think they did a remake for Devil May Cry and a few other games that were like really good. So now now that they've bought the studio, they can plan for the future. I mean, nothing that they showed really impressed me for the current generation, but it looks like everything they showed is like it's a roadmap for the next like 3 to 5 years for the next generation. So if you're a fan of Xbox, I think there's a lot to look forward to. It's just that they kind of waved the white flag for this generation, because they can't catch up with PS4, and then the Switch is just taking off. So they're playing for the future, and I think they're going to make a lot of right moves. One of the biggest one I think is to have the games on multi-platform, on Windows and also for Xbox. Like the CEO for Ubisoft, he said that this is just his prediction, but they say this every generation where the next console is going to be the last one, and everything will go to streaming. So if that is true, Microsoft is well positioned for that, whereas Sony will struggle at that, in terms of selling hardware at that point. But they still own a lot of the first party like softwares. I'm talking about Sony. So even if they get out of consoles in like 10 years, I think they still have a lot of properties that they can still profit off of. So really cool showing from Microsoft. For me, I just don't like how every trailer they show, like they'll make an announcement beginning, like world premiere.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cheesy. They do that every single year the past 3 years, and I always hated it. I mean, I get it. It's they're the first one to have the first console to show stuff. So I mean, it's very easy for them to say world premiere or whatever, since they're the first one showing it. So that's for me. That's on the console side. For games, I was really impressed by Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh yeah.
I've heard of the title, but this was the first time at the Sony press conference where they showed the gameplay, and I was blown away by the graphics, the lighting, the color, the gameplay. Everything about it looked really cool. So I just didn't like that the audio was in English. I mean, they should have just gone Japanese with subtitles, but I get it, But yeah, that game looks awesome. So those were the two things that really stood out to me from E3. What about for you?
There was a big game that came out of nowhere. I had no idea what's coming out, and made me like my jaw drop type thing, which is cool. It was a surprise, and nowadays you really can't get surprised anymore, right? You already knew all these games were gonna. Yeah. It all leaked out. Like you knew. Well, I mean, PlayStation ahead of time said we're gonna concentrate on these 4 games. Xbox, you can kind of figure what they were gonna do. You can kind of guess the games. But the one that just came out of nowhere was Resident Evil 2 Remake. Mm-hmm. It was during the Sony panel, I believe it was after. I think it was after the Ghost of Tsushima, actually, because Last of Us went first, right?
Yeah.
And they had the intermission, and during the intermission, they announced some DLC type stuff for God of War, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then they went Ghost of Tsushima, and like I was impressed with that too because I hadn't seen anything with Ghost of
Right.
Tsushima, nothing. So yeah, I was like, wow, this game looks amazing. Couldn't wait to play it. And then in the intermission between that, they were like, oh, by the way, Resident Evil 2 remake, and they showed the trailer for it, and I was like, oh my god, where did this come from? Where I had no idea they were making that game, and that's one of my all time favorite games ever. When Resident Evil 2 came out way back on PS1, I was blown away. I played the crap out of that game, and you can play. I don't know if you remember, right, but you can play the first campaign as Leon, the first half of the game, and then his campaign would affect Claire's. So you get two different playthroughs, and then you can do it again. You can go Claire first, change that up, and then it would her campaign would affect Leon. So you basically had 4 games in one. They did say, I think yesterday I read that they're not going to do that. There's not going to be 4 playthroughs, but there is going to be 2, and they're going to more intertwine the whole game, and which is cool. That's fine with me too. That way they can focus more on making 2 really long, really good campaigns. But man, of course they say they're going to update some stuff, and they're going to move the camera, make it more over the shoulder, like in Resident Evil 4 and all the the modern games now. So to play Resident Evil 2, which was my favorite game of the series, in the new over the shoulder style with updated graphics and all this, oh man, like super excited. It's not that far either. It's January,
Yeah.
so we wait half a year, and I was like, oh man, and Resident Evil remake, which came out in 2004, I think, on GameCube, was amazing as well. That game improved on the original in every way and just made it another, now if someone, asks me, oh, I want to play the first Resident Evil, I say, no, play Resident Evil remake. That's the way to go. So if they can do that with Resident Evil 2 remake and improve on Resident Evil 2 like that, man, I can't wait. We were talking about it offline, how I have my game map kind of lined up for the rest of the year, and then when I said, "Oh, January," like, okay, I know what game I'm getting in January, and then in February will be, I think Days Gone comes out in February.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the big like holy crap moment from E3 that I didn't expect coming, was the Resident Evil 2 remake, and then of course I'm excited for Death Stranding and there goes to Tsushima and Last of Us 2. But I've been excited for those.
Yeah.
I've been waiting on those for a while now. We were at the PSX 2016 when they announced Last of Us Part 2. So I've just been, patiently waiting. And then we saw it at PSX last year. They showed a little bit more. And so I didn't want to say, oh, I'm excited for that, because I've been excited. This was something new. Death Stranding looks great. Of course, I still don't know what's going on. But it looks good, and it goes to Tsushima, like you said. The atmosphere in that game was just incredible. I don't own an Xbox. I'm not an Xbox guy, so I didn't really get anything from that panel. I was more watching for the third party stuff, and Cyberpunk looks really cool.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they didn't show any gameplay. It was just a trailer, but like we were talking offline as well, the IGN playthroughs, they were like, trust us, it's amazing. Just trust us. We played an hour, it's great. So, all right, I'm excited for that. And I said we weren't going to go to a little bit disappointments. I don't want to be too harsh on it, but I was disappointed that Rocksteady didn't show up with whatever their game is, whether it's Superman or Justice League. They were nowhere to be found. And I was watching the whole Microsoft panel because I figured that's where it would show it, would be in the Microsoft panel, and waiting for that one and nothing. And I was like, and there was the head of Rocksteady said that the game, they are working on it. It's just not at that point to show yet. So maybe at Gamescom later in the year, or we might just have to wait till next year. But other than that, though, I'm not, I don't want to go over too many stuff that I wanted to see, didn't see, but yeah, that was my most excited thing to see, was Resident Evil 2 remake. It came out of nowhere. I love Resident Evil. I love Resident Evil 2. It's my favorite game, so I can't wait to play that one.
Just really quick, how do you rank the Resident Evil games?
So
2 would be first.
2 would be, yeah.
4 be the second one.
Yeah, I would go 2, 4, maybe, and then probably Resident Evil remake, and then probably Code Veronica, Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 1. And then I would go the new one, Resident Evil 7, that just came out, which was really cool. The game was really creepy. It was a really fun game. And then the bottom ones I would have 5 and 6. Those are like the only two like bad games, you know.
Yeah.
All those other ones I'm putting them in order, but they're all great. But 5 and 6 were not good, and 6 especially. 6 was trash. I remember playing it and just being like, oh, what? And it was really long too. You had 3 campaigns, so it was a really long game. So I powered my way through it. It was just such a trash game, and then they had to go away for a long time. They went away for when the Resident Evil 7 came out early. Was it early this? No, last year Resident Evil 7 came out. So it was gone for like 5 or 6 years. They just had to go away and start from scratch. So it was so bad. And then I didn't play like the PSP ones, the shooters. Mm-hmm. I didn't play those, so I can't rank those ones either. And there was a Resident Evil online game. I don't know if you remember that one. Way back, like 2002, 2003. It was an online Resident Evil game, and it was terrible. It had like you can like the whole point of it was like an MMORPG. You can go online, you can meet other survivors and stuff. But it was before online was really up to snuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just didn't work. So that one too. I remember I bought that one and I sold it back to GameStop like in a week. And I was like, yeah, I messed up on that one. So I know you've been playing Switch. Was there a Nintendo? Something from Nintendo you liked?
Yeah, the RPG game Octopath Traveler. I think that's the name of the game. So it's published by Square. I mean, so they didn't make the game, but it looks just like Final Fantasy VI, or in the US Final Fantasy III. So it's like old school RPG, but it plays and looks like Final Fantasy VI. So it looks awesome, and it's coming out next month.
Oh wow!
So that's the biggest game I'm looking forward to. So with their conference, they spent like 25 minutes out of the 40 minutes showing Smash. It looks amazing, but I don't play Smash. So, I mean, it looks really cool, but I don't think I'll play that game.
Yeah, I'm not I don't have a Switch, but I always like watching the Nintendo conferences just because they're fun.
They're fun to watch.
Yeah, they're just fun to watch. So I noticed a Smash. Well, I mean, it's Smash Ultimate, so it has every character who's ever been in a game. And then what was cool too is that they went over every single one and like kind of how they evolved since their first appearance. So I thought that was cool. I watched it and I was like, well, I'm not gonna play it, but this is cool and fun. So yeah, and I didn't watch Bethesda. I didn't watch Ubisoft. What was the other one? Oh, Anthem. Anthem looks cool. I was like, this looks like a cool game. I don't know. I mean, it's in that weird Destiny Division type game, where it's like you have to go online and you join a group and you play through the game that way. So we'll see if it really sticks, because those two games have been out a while. They've got pretty big fan bases already. So it looks really cool. The artwork looks great. The mechs look great. I mean, the mech suits and the world looks amazing. So I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. And then there's also, you can play single player if you want, I don't like playing multiplayer games. I like single player. But we'll see if it does something truly unique to kind of pull from that group of games that are already established. But that was actually pretty cool during the EA conference. That's what it was. It was EA. EA, I was watching it and it was like, the same stuff, FIFA, Madden, NBA Live. And then more Anthem, and I was like, wow, this game looks really cool. So I don't know if I'll say excited, maybe more intrigued. Maybe that's the word. I'm intrigued by that game to see what happens. Yeah,
that game is more like for me, it's like a wait and see kind of game. Like, it looks pretty good, but I need to see more, and I need to see what people are saying about it when a game finally comes out. We'll see.
Yeah. So a quick recap. I'm really excited for Resident Evil 2 Remake. And Brian is excited to see what Microsoft buying these software companies, game companies, and to kind of see where their future holds, right, Brian? Is that
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our quick E3 recap. Just what got us excited and what got us going as gamers to see what's coming in the future. And I read online, a lot of people were kind of bashing this. I don't know if you've seen it, Brian, but a lot of people were bashing this E3 as like kind of disappointing, nothing crazy. But there's always something good that comes out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to have anything exciting other than stuff that you've already seen, because stuff leaks so early now, and they're at the end of the console generation, so they're not going to show you anything that's like 3 or 4 years out. Like pretty much all the things that we see this year are games that you're going to see at the end of the generation before they move to the next console. So I mean I can see next year where they start showing like PS5 or Xbox Two or whatever they call it. But the next generation of consoles, I think next year is when they bring those out, and then they'll fill up the excitement again.
Yeah, yeah, and Sony said that it kind of sounded like they might not have PSX this year, and we were talking about how if they take this year off and they come back next year, that'll probably be for a PS5 reveal.
Yeah.
So I think that's coming soon. It's already 5 years in to a cycle. Normally the cycles are around 7 years, so it's about time for that stuff to start coming up. But yeah, that's what got us excited. We had, we enjoyed E3. It's always fun, and now we got some games to play.
Yeah,
so,
October is gonna be starting in October. It's gonna be really busy.
Oh yeah. We have Spider-Man come in and Red Dead Redemption 2 come in, and then just keeps going from there. So
yeah.
I got a couple games I gotta knock out before then.
Yeah, for me it starts in September when the new Destiny drops.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I think for me it'd be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then it just gets going from there. But that's our E3 recap. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.